Proof is here again. Update is here. Update is here again. As U.S. Congress they are set to release Nnamdi Kanu from the year imprisonment, life imprisonment that Nigeria government gave him. U.S. Congress are set to release him by force or by fire. You need to see this. You need to see this evidence. There is evidence in this video that I want to show you, and you have to watch it to the end. You need to watch it to the end. Share this video. Let it go viral. Let's watch and let's see what is happening. Let's see what US is doing, and let's see what they are planning. Let's see what they are cooking to make sure Nnamdi Kanu is set free and is not what they are calling him, and to make sure he is not suffering of what he didn't do. You need to share this video so that many people will know what is going on. Share it, let it go viral, because we will see a whole lot of evidence here. I will be back.
You welcome to Matters Arising.
A lot of homes are breaking, and here is why.
The home of political talks and relationship matters.
You might think it doesn't concern you, but it concerns you.
Join us now and let's dialogue.
Welcome back to this channel, and if you are joining us for the first time, click the subscription button and click the red notification button so that any video we post, you'll be the first person to be notified. Now this information getting to us, and this information that we laid our house upon, you have to see it. You really have to see this. Nnamdi Kanu has been judged to go to life imprisonment by the Nigeria court, saying, okay, for life now, you have to be in prison for being a terrorist, for being accused a terrorist, as we have seen in the news. That one is no longer news. But there is evidence now. We have proof here stating that the U.S. Congress, in their own Congress, and what they are planning, they want to make sure that they set Nnamdi Kanu free. And we have a whole lot of proof here that we will be reading from you, and you will see that this report from their meetings, this report from their Congress is very legit, and I will be reading from us. It is a whole lengthy passage, but we have to see it. We really have to see it. As you can see, this report is from the General Assembly of the United Nations and the Human Rights Working Group in the arbitrary detention. This is talking about Nnamdi Kanu, and it is a very, very lengthy page that we have to read to you, and you have to follow it. I will make sure I posted it in this video throughout, so that you will see the details and the content of this report. It's a very long report, and you have to watch it to the end so that you know what this is about. They are not allowing him to suffer and just suffer in Nigeria prison here. So we will be following it and we'll be reading. This is the opinions adopted by the working group on arbitrary detention and its 93rd session, 30th March, 8th April 2022. Opinion number 25202 concerning Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu. That's his full name, Nigeria and Kenya. The working group on the arbitrary detention was established in Resolution 1991-142 of the Commission of Human Rights in its resolution in 1997-50. The Commission extended and clarified the mandate of the working group pursuant to General Assembly Resolution 60-251 and Human Rights Council Decision 1-102, and the Council assumed the mandate of the Commission. The Council assumed the mandate of the Council most recently extended the mandate of the working group for a 3-year period of Resolution 42-22 in accordance with the method of war. On 30 December 2021, the working group transmitted the government of Nigeria and Kenya in the communication concerning Nnamdi Kanu. The government of Nigeria replied to the communication On 25 January 2022, while the government of Kenya did not reply, both states are the parties to the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. The work group regards deprivation of liberty as arbitrary and following cases when it is clearly impossible to invoke any legal basis justifying the deprivation of liberty, as when person is kept in detention and after the completion of his or her sentence, despite an amnesty law applicable to him or her, category 1, when the deprivation of liberty results from the exercise of rights or freedom guaranteed by the Articles 7, 13, 14, 18, 19, 20, and 21 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and insofar as state parties are concerned by the Article 12, 18, 19, 21, 22, 25, 26, and 27 of the Covenant, Category 2, when the total of the partial or non-observance of the international norms relating to the right and to the fair trial established in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and in the relevant international instruments accepted by the states concerning, is of which gravity is to give the deprivation of liberty an arbitrary character, category 3, when asylum seekers, immigrants, or refugees are subject to prolonged administrative custody without possibility in administrative or judicial review. Remedy: when the deprivation of liberty consists of violation of international law. You can see that is interest. Like, okay, you can't say, okay, they keep him here and they are violating human rights, and okay, it doesn't concern the international law. They are saying the reason why it's concerned because Nigeria is violating an international law by keeping him in that manner, and which is what we are saying here. Violation of law on the grounds of discrimination based on birth, national, ethnic or social group, language, religion, economic condition, political or other opinion, agenda, sexual orientation, disability. So on the second page, it still continues. Further, on 21 September 2013, the Federal Republic of Nigeria reportedly listed the indigenous people of Biafra. This is where it's getting interesting. That one, the first one is still the preamble. Yeah, here is where it's getting interesting now. The first report, the first page of this report is still the preamble. Further, on 21 September 2017, the federal government of Nigeria reportedly listed the indigenous people of Biafra as a terrorist organization during an ex parte pro. This is lacking elements of due process, including notice of the opportunity to be heard, and based on the president's assertion alone. The organization challenged the listing and reportedly pending on appeal. The source also reports that the African Commissioner, Human Rights and People's Rights and United Nations experts have raised concern as the justification of the legality of organization being placed on list of terrorist organizations. Finally, the source alleges that there existing hostility towards Biafran in Nigeria. And that Mr. Kanu's detention is based substantially on his ethnicity as a Biafran. Responses from the government. On 30th December 2021, the working group transmitted the allegations from the source to the government of Nigeria and Kenya under its regular communication procedure. The working group requested the government to provide by 28 February 2022 detailed information about the current situation of Mr. Kanu and to clarify the legal provisions justifying the detention, the continued detention, as well as compatibility with the obligations of Nigeria and Kenya under international human rights law, and in particular with regard to the treaties ratified by two states. Moreover, the working group called upon the government of Nigeria to ensure Mr. Kanu's physical and mental integrity. 28. On 25th January 2022, the government of Nigeria submitted a reply in which stated that given the case was ongoing in the national courts, any reaction by the federal government of Nigeria will be unconsignable. Nothing further was submitted by the government of Nigeria. The working group regrets that they received no reply from the government of Kenya and that it also did not seek extension according with the paragraph 16 of the working group's methods of work discussion. The working group has in jurisprudence established the ways in which it deals with evidentiary issues. If the source has established a prima facie case for breach of international law constituting arbitrary detention and burden of proof should be understood to rest upon the government if it wishes to refute the allegations. Mere assertions by the government and lawful proceedings have been followed and are not sufficient to rebut the source's allegations. In the present case, the government of Kenya has opted not to challenge the prima facie credible allegations made by the source, while the government of Nigeria has only stated that since the case is ongoing in the national court, any restriction by the federal government of Nigeria will be unconsignable. Nothing that the allegations submitted to the source concern to government. The working group proceeds to examine them separately. Allegations in relocation to Kenya. In the absence of response from government of Kenya, working group has decided to render the present opinion and conformity with paragraph 15 of its method of work, and working group shall consider whether the arrest and detention of Mr. Kanu by the government of Kenya amounted to arbitrary detention within any of the categories recognized in the working method of the working group. Category 1, 34. The source submitted to the government has chosen not to contest that when Mr. Kanu was arrested at Nairobi Airport in Kenya, security forces on 19 June 2021, he was swiftly taken to an undisclosed location, which was not a police station. See, these are the things they are using against the government of Nigeria. So, in relation to Nigeria and Kenya, the privations of liberty Nnamdi Kanu being in contravention of Article 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and Article 2, 9, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 26 International Convention on Civil Political Rights and Arbitrary and Forced Category 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why I'm reading this for you is to get the point of what they are saying here, and I will leave the article for you so that you can screen record yourself or screenshot so that you can have a clear view and clear reading. And what they are saying is that all these trials on all these things they are having against Kanu are against many international laws. If you see our lawyers, I think they can shed more light on this. So what do you think? They are coming. They have made their meetings and set their dates for coming and set how they will be about it. And there's a news that U.S. envoys, U.S. congressmen, you can see in this picture that they are even in Nigeria already to make sure that Kanu is released. I don't know, maybe Nigeria has anything that can use to counter that one. And comment your comment. Let us know your comment. Let us know your view. Let us know in the comment section, and share this video. Give it a like, share it to others so that it will go viral. Thank you for watching. Until the next time.